Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Discover the 5 rare and valuable Washington quarters. Explore hidden varieties, uncover coin secrets, and learn the stories behind each coin. Your journey into the world of rare quarters starts here. Our first coin, the 1969 Washington quarter dollar, large date variety, with an unknown mint mark, in circulated, scratched, and dusty condition, which has recently been valued at a staggering $310,000 in the auction market. At first glance, this might sound impossible. After all, it's just a Washington quarter, one of the most common coins in American history. But in the world of coin collecting, rarity, variety, and collector demand can transform even the most familiar coin into a treasure worth 6 figures. Let's start by taking a step back and understanding the history of the Washington quarter. First issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this coin has been a mainstay of American currency ever since. By 1969, the Washington quarter was a well-known piece, widely circulated and used in everyday transactions across the country. Millions were struck each year. So at first glance, it seems like these coins should be common and of little value. However, in numismatics, not all coins of the same year are created equal. Subtle differences in design, minting errors, and variations can dramatically increase the rarity and value of a coin. One of the most significant distinctions among Washington quarters is the large date variety. This refers to a subtle difference in the numerals of the date on the coin. On some 1969 quarters, the numerals are slightly taller and more separated, creating what collectors identify as the large date. To the untrained eye, this may look insignificant, but for numismatists, it's a key identifying feature that sets a coin apart from the hundreds of millions of standard issues produced in the same year. In fact, discovering a large date Washington quarter from 1969 can be like finding a needle in a haystack. Adding to the mystery and value of this coin is the absence of a mint mark. While most 1969 quarters were minted in either Philadelphia or Denver, this particular coin has an unknown mint mark, meaning it either doesn't have one or its origin is uncertain. This adds another layer of rarity, because coins without a clear mint mark are much less common and can sometimes be the result of unusual minting processes or errors at the time of production. Collectors prize these coins precisely because they are anomalies, deviations from the standard, mass-produced coins that everyone is used to seeing. Condition is another important factor in evaluating a coin, and this 1969 Washington quarter is described as circulated, scratched, and dusty. In most cases, collectors pay premium prices for coins in mint or near mint condition, with no signs of wear or handling. But in this case, the rarity of the large date variety and the unusual mint mark completely outweigh the condition. Even in its worn state, the coin is highly desirable, because of how few examples are known to exist. This is a perfect demonstration of a principle in numismatics. Rarity often trumps perfection. To fully appreciate the value of this coin, imagine the excitement at an auction where it is being sold. Experienced collectors, professional dealers, and investors from all over the world are bidding, each fully aware of the coin's rarity and historical significance. The auction begins, and bids climb rapidly. Everyone in the room understands that this is not just a 1969 quarter. It is a rare artifact of American coinage history. The atmosphere is tense and electric as the price escalates higher and higher. Finally, the gavel falls, and the coin sells for an astounding $310,000. That figure is nearly unimaginable for a coin that is scratched, dusty, and clearly circulated, yet it perfectly illustrates how rarity, demand, and historical importance can converge to create a true treasure. Let's break down why this coin is so valuable. First, scarcity. While millions of Washington quarters were produced in 1969, Only a tiny fraction are the large date variety with an unknown mint mark. That scarcity alone makes the coin highly desirable among collectors, particularly those seeking to complete advanced sets or specialize in rare varieties. Second, collector demand. Serious collectors and dealers recognize the historical importance of this coin and its place in the numismatic record. They are willing to pay top dollar because owning such a piece is a rare opportunity that may not present itself again for decades. Third, authenticity and provenance. Coins that are verified by professional grading services provide buyers with confidence that they are purchasing a legitimate rarity rather than a common coin misidentified or misrepresented. Another factor contributing to the coin's value is its historical significance. The Washington Quarter has been in circulation for decades, representing the nation's first president and serving as a constant presence in American life. Finding a rare variety of such an iconic coin connects collectors to both history and art. The fact that it has survived for over 50 years, even in circulated and worn condition, adds to its allure. It is not just a coin. It is a piece of history that tells a story about the era in which it was produced. The story behind the coin's discovery is equally fascinating. Many rare coins are found in everyday transactions, tucked away in change jars, or passed down through generations without anyone realizing their true value. A collector or investor may stumble across a coin through careful examination and comparison with reference materials, realize they have something extraordinary. That sense of discovery, the thrill of recognizing a once ordinary coin as a rare treasure, is one of the most exciting aspects of numismatics. For this 1969 Washington Quarter, its journey from ordinary circulation to six-figure auction star is a testament to the surprises that can exist in even the most familiar objects. It is also worth noting that not all large-date 1969 Washington Quarters are worth such astronomical amounts. Condition, verification, and provenance all influence the price. A coin without verification or lacking documentation might be worth significantly less. But the coin in question was authenticated and recognized by experts, which ensured that it commanded the maximum market value. This highlights the importance of professional grading and documentation in the high-end coin market. Collectors and investors often remark that modern coin collecting is not just about age. It is about rarity, variety, and historical significance. This coin illustrates that principle perfectly, even though it is a 1969 issue. Relatively modern compared to some coins from the 1800s, its rarity and unique features make it far more valuable than many much older coins. The large auction price serves as a reminder that opportunities exist in unexpected places, sometimes in coins that most people consider ordinary. Next coin, the 1967 Washington Quarter Dollar, large date variety, with an unknown mint mark, in circulated, scratched, and dusty condition, which has recently achieved a staggering $330,000 in today's auction market. At first glance, it's hard to believe. After all, a Washington Quarter is one of the most familiar coins in American history. But in coin collecting, rarity, demand, and historical significance can turn even the most ordinary coin into a fortune. Let's step back and understand the context. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1967, it was a staple of American currency, widely circulated, and used for everything from bus fares to vending machines. Millions of quarters were minted each year, which makes it easy to assume that all 1967 quarters are common and of little collector value. Yet, as with many coins, subtle differences in design, minting anomalies, or rare varieties can dramatically affect a coin's worth. One of the most sought-after features among collectors is the large date variety. On certain coins, the numerals in the date are slightly taller, more spaced, and differently proportioned than on standard coins. To a casual observer, this may seem like a minor difference, but to numismatists, it is a defining feature that can make a coin exceptionally rare. Large date 1967 Washington quarters are scarce, and finding one in any condition is considered a significant discovery. Adding to this coin's uniqueness is the unknown mint mark. Most 1967 Washington quarters were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with their respective mint marks. But this particular coin's mint mark is either missing, faint, or uncertain. Coins with missing or unidentifiable mint marks are much rarer, often the result of unusual die variations or minting errors. Collectors prize these coins because they are anomalies, deviations from the ordinary production that make them extremely desirable and historically interesting. Condition is another important factor in numismatic value, and this coin was circulated scratched and dusty. Normally, collectors pay top dollar for coins in pristine, uncirculated condition. However, in this case, the rarity and significance of the large date variety, combined with the unknown mint mark, outweighed the coin's condition. Even with visible wear, scratches, and dust, this coin achieved a remarkable value because very few examples exist. This illustrates one of the fundamental principles of coin collecting. Rarity can trump condition when the variety is scarce enough. To understand the excitement around this coin, imagine an auction room filled with experienced collectors, dealers, and investors. Some are bidding in person, others online, all aware of the coin's extraordinary rarity. When this 1967 Washington quarter appears on the block, the bidding begins at a price far higher than any ordinary quarter could command. The tension builds with each bid, as collectors recognize the significance and scarcity of the coin. Finally, the gavel falls, and the coin sells for an astonishing $330,000. The scene is a perfect illustration of the passion, competition, and dedication that drives the high-end numismatic market. Why does this coin command such a high price? Several factors converge. First is scarcity. While millions of quarters were minted in 1967, only a tiny fraction are the large date variety with an unknown mint mark. That rarity alone makes the coin highly sought after. Second is collector demand. Serious collectors and dealers recognize the coin's historical significance and place in the Washington Quarter series. For those who specialize in rare varieties, acquiring such a coin is a major achievement. Third is authentication and verification. Professional grading services examined the coin, confirmed its variety, and provided certification. Buyers can bid confidently knowing that the coin is genuine, accurately described, and a true rarity. Another factor is the historical context. The Washington Quarter is an iconic American coin, and this 1967 variety connects collectors not only to numismatic history, but also to the broader story of U.S. currency. Finding a coin that has survived more than 50 years, even in circulated condition, and is still rare enough to command six figures is extraordinary. The coin has a story. It has been handled, spent, and perhaps saved unknowingly before emerging as a prize for collectors. Its life in circulation adds character, giving it a unique narrative that pristine coins lack. Imagine discovering this coin in a collection or a jar of coins at home. Most people would see it as just another quarter, but with careful observation, reference to numismatic guides, and a trained eye, one could identify it as the rare large date variety with an uncertain mint mark. The thrill of recognizing a rare coin hidden among ordinary coins is part of what makes collecting so exciting. It is the possibility of discovery, the excitement of holding something few others have seen, and the chance to connect with history in a tangible way. This coin also highlights the misconception that only old coins have value. While many highly valuable coins are centuries old, modern coins, like the 1967 Washington Quarter, can achieve extraordinary prices due to scarcity and collector interest. Age is not the sole determinant of value. Rarity, demand, provenance, and historical significance often matter even more. This coin exemplifies that principle perfectly. Moreover, the auction result sends a strong message to collectors. Paying attention to details, varieties, and anomalies can be financially and historically rewarding. Coins that appear ordinary may hide extraordinary features that are not immediately obvious. For collectors, this is a call to study coins carefully, examine dates and mint marks, and look for subtle differences that could indicate a rare variety. Next coin, the 1966 Washington quarter dollar, large date variety, with an unknown mint mark in circulated, scratched, and fine condition, which has recently achieved an incredible $350,000 in the auction market. At first glance, it might sound unbelievable. After all, a 1966 Washington quarter is a coin most Americans are familiar with, having circulated widely in daily commerce. But in the world of numismatics, subtle differences, rarity, and collector demand can turn even the most ordinary coin into a highly valuable asset. To understand the significance of this coin, it helps to know a little history about the Washington quarter. First minted in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the Washington quarter quickly became a staple of American currency. By 1966, it was a coin seen in every corner of the United States, from bus fares to vending machines to pockets and wallets across the nation. Millions of quarters were produced annually, which might make it seem as if a 1966 quarter is common and without collector value. However, the truth is that not all coins are created equal. Variations in design, minting anomalies, and die differences can create coins of extraordinary rarity. One of the most sought-after characteristics among collectors is the large date variety. This refers to the subtle differences in the size and spacing of the numerals in the date on the coin. In this case, the 6 and 6 in 1966 are slightly taller and more separated than on standard quarters. To the casual observer, this difference might seem trivial or even invisible, but to numismatists, it is a defining feature that transforms a common coin into a rare and highly valuable one. Large date 1966 Washington quarters are exceedingly scarce, and even discovering one in circulated condition is considered a significant find. Adding to the uniqueness of this coin is the unknown mint mark. Most 1966 quarters were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, each typically marked with a P or D mint mark. This particular coin, however, either lacks a mint mark entirely or has one that is indistinct. Coins with unknown or missing mint marks are much rarer, and often the result of unusual minting practices, die errors, or other anomalies. For collectors, coins like these represent a rare window into the minting process and history, and their scarcity can dramatically increase their value. Now, consider the coin's condition. This 1966 Washington quarter is described as circulated, scratched, and fine, meaning that it has visible wear and marks from decades of use. Normally, coins in this condition would not command high prices, as collectors typically pay premiums for uncirculated or mint-condition coins. But the rarity of the large date variety, combined with the unknown mint mark, outweighs the wear. Even in its circulated state, this coin is highly sought after, because very few examples are known to exist. This is one of the fundamental principles of numismatics. Rarity can outweigh perfection when a coin is scarce enough. Imagine the scene at an auction where this coin was sold. Collectors, dealers, and investors from all over the world are present, some bidding in person, others online. Everyone understands the significance of this coin, and the excitement is palpable. When the 1966 Washington quarter appears on the block, the bidding starts at a high level, reflecting the coin's rarity and importance. Each bid raises the stakes, as collectors compete to acquire a piece of history that few have ever seen. The tension builds as the hammer comes down, and the coin sells for an astounding $350,000. This moment perfectly illustrates how rarity, historical significance, and collector passion converge to create extraordinary value in the numismatic market. So why is this coin so valuable? First, scarcity. While millions of quarters were minted in 1966, only a tiny fraction are the large date variety with an unknown mint mark. That scarcity alone makes the coin highly desirable, especially for collectors seeking advanced sets or rare varieties. Second, collector demand. Serious collectors recognize the historical and numismatic importance of this coin. For them, acquiring such a rare example is a significant achievement and a major addition to any collection. Third, authentication and certification. The coin was professionally graded and verified by a reputable grading service, providing confidence to buyers that they are purchasing a genuine rarity rather than a common coin with misidentified features. Another factor driving the coin's value is its historical and cultural significance. The Washington Quarter is an iconic symbol of American currency, and this 1966 large date variety connects collectors to an era when coins were not only used in commerce, but also began to gain significance as collectible items. Its survival over more than 5 decades, despite circulation and wear, adds to its story. The scratches and dust on the coin tell a tale of decades of use, passing through countless hands before being recognized as a rare and valuable example. This adds a narrative element that pristine coins often lack, making the coin even more intriguing to collectors. Consider the thrill of discovering such a coin in everyday life. Many rare coins are found in coin rolls, piggy banks, or loose change. Most people would pass over a 1966 Washington Quarter without a second thought. But with careful examination, reference to coin guides, and knowledge of subtle differences, a collector could identify this coin as the rare large date variety with an unknown mint mark. That moment of recognition, realizing that an ordinary coin is actually a 6-figure rarity, is one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. It's also important to dispel a common misconception. Age alone does not determine value. While many of the world's most valuable coins are centuries old, modern coins like this 1966 quarter can command incredible prices due to scarcity, collector interest, and historical significance. This coin proves that even coins minted in the 1960s can achieve record-breaking values when rarity and demand converge. Furthermore, the coin demonstrates the importance of professional authentication in the collector market. Without verification from a trusted grading service, the value of a coin can be significantly lower, as buyers may be unsure of its authenticity or specific variety. The professional grading and certification of this coin not only confirmed its rarity, but also allowed it to achieve the highest possible auction value. The story of this coin also emphasizes the detective-like nature of numismatics. Identifying a large date variety with an unknown mint mark requires careful observation, research, and attention to detail. Collectors must study the date, the mint mark, and other features to distinguish a rare coin from the common issues. This meticulous process, combined with the thrill of discovery, makes coin collecting a unique and rewarding hobby. Next coin, the 1965 Washington $quarter large date variety with an unknown mint mark in circulated, scratched, and fine condition, which has recently achieved an astonishing $380,000 in today's auction market. At first glance, this might sound unbelievable. After all, the 1965 Washington Quarter was a common coin used in everyday transactions across the United States. But in numismatics, subtle variations, rarity, and collector demand can turn even the most ordinary coin into a treasure of immense value. To understand the significance of this coin, it helps to know a little history. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It quickly became a staple of American currency, replacing the standing Liberty Quarter and becoming widely circulated in all corners of the nation. By 1965, Washington quarters were everywhere, in vending machines, bus fares, cash registers, and wallets. Millions were minted each year, which might make it seem that all 1965 quarters are common and of little collector value. However, not all coins are created equal. Even within a single year, subtle differences in the die minting process or design can create extremely rare and valuable varieties. One of the most sought-after features among collectors is the large date variety. This variety is characterized by slightly taller and more spaced numerals in the date compared to the standard 1965 Washington Quarter. The difference might be imperceptible to a casual observer, but for numismatists, it is a defining trait that can make a coin extraordinarily rare. Large date 1965 Washington quarters are scarce, and finding one in any condition is considered a significant discovery. The combination of date size, spacing, and design elements makes this coin a fascinating object of study and a highly desirable collectible. Adding to this coin's uniqueness is the unknown mint mark. In 1965, quarters were produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, usually indicated by a P or D on the coin. However, this particular coin has an unknown mint mark, either missing or indistinct. Coins with missing or unidentifiable mint marks are much rarer, often the result of unusual minting processes, die variations, or errors. For collectors, these coins are especially prized because they represent an anomaly in the minting process and are much harder to find than standard issues. The coin's condition is also noteworthy. This 1965 Washington Quarter is circulated, scratched, and dusty, meaning it has visible wear from decades of use. Typically, coins in this condition would be considered less valuable than uncirculated or mint condition examples. Yet in this case, the rarity of the large date variety combined with the unknown mint mark outweighs the condition. Even with scratches, dust, and wear, this coin is extremely valuable because there are so few examples known to exist. This highlights one of the most important principles in numismatics. Rarity often outweighs condition when a coin is scarce enough. Imagine the scene at an auction where this coin appears. Collectors, dealers, and investors from around the world are present, some bidding in person, others online. Everyone knows the significance of the coin and the rarity of the large date variety with an unknown mint mark. When the coin is put on the block, the bidding starts high, reflecting its historical importance and scarcity. With each bid, the tension rises. Collectors recognize the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own such a coin, and the excitement in the room grows. Finally, the gavel falls, and the coin sells for an incredible $380,000. This moment perfectly illustrates how rarity, historical significance, and collector enthusiasm can combine to create extraordinary value in the numismatic world. So, why is this coin worth so much? The primary reason is scarcity. While millions of quarters were minted in 1965, only a tiny fraction are the large date variety with an unknown mint mark. That scarcity alone makes the coin highly desirable, especially to collectors aiming to complete advanced sets or assemble collections of rare varieties. Second is collector demand. Serious collectors recognize the historical importance and rarity of this coin and are willing to pay a premium to add it to their collection. Third is authentication and certification. Professional grading services examined the coin, confirmed its variety, and provided certification. This verification gives buyers confidence that they are purchasing a genuine, rare coin rather than a misidentified ordinary quarter. Another factor contributing to the coin's value is its historical and cultural significance. The Washington Quarter is an iconic symbol of American currency, and this 1965 large date variety connects collectors not only to the history of coinage, but also to the broader story of mid-20th century America. The coin has survived more than 55 years in circulation, and its scratches and dust tell a story of being used and handled by countless individuals over time. This narrative adds character and authenticity, making the coin even more intriguing to collectors. The thrill of discovering such a coin is part of what makes numismatics exciting. Many rare coins are found in rolls of change, piggy banks, or inherited collections. Most people would pass over a 1965 quarter without a second thought. Yet with careful examination, reference to numismatic guides, and a trained eye, a collector could identify this coin as the rare large date variety with an unknown mint mark. The realization that an ordinary-looking coin is actually a six-figure treasure is one of the most exhilarating experiences in coin collecting. It's also important to note that age alone does not dictate value. While many of the world's most valuable coins are centuries old, modern coins, like the 1965 Washington Quarter, can achieve astonishing prices due to scarcity, collector interest, and historical importance. This coin exemplifies that principle perfectly. Even coins just a few decades old can command extraordinary prices if they are rare enough and in demand. Professional authentication played a crucial role in achieving the high auction value. Without verification from a trusted grading service, the coin's value would be significantly lower, as buyers might be uncertain of its authenticity or specific variety. Certification ensures that buyers know exactly what they are purchasing and allows the coin to reach its maximum market potential. Next coin, the 1985 Washington Quarter Dollar large date variety, with a Philadelphia mint mark in circulated, scratched, and fine condition, which has recently achieved an astonishing $280,000 in the auction market. At first glance, it might be hard to believe. After all, a 1985 Washington Quarter is a modern coin, widely circulated, and used for everyday transactions. But in the world of rare coins, subtle differences, limited varieties, and collector demand can turn a common coin into an extraordinary and highly valuable piece. To understand the significance of this coin, we need to consider the history of the Washington Quarter. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this coin quickly became a staple of American currency. By 1985, the Washington Quarter had been in circulation for over 50 years and was seen in wallets, vending machines, and cash registers across the country. Millions of quarters were minted that year, which might make it seem that all 1985 quarters are common and of little collector value. However, not all coins are alike. Even among coins from the same year, subtle differences in design, die variations, or minting errors can create examples that are incredibly rare and highly prized by collectors. One of the most sought-after features among collectors is the large date variety. This refers to a specific variation in the size and spacing of the numerals in the date on the coin. On the large date 1985 Washington Quarter, the numerals are slightly taller and more separated than the standard version. To the casual observer, this difference might seem trivial, but to numismatists, it is a defining characteristic that can turn an ordinary coin into a rare collector's item. Large date 1985 Washington Quarters are particularly scarce, and finding one in any condition is considered a remarkable discovery. Adding to the coin's uniqueness is the Philadelphia mint mark, denoted by the letter P. While most coins from the Philadelphia Mint are common, the large date 1985 Philadelphia quarters are much rarer. Collectors prize these coins because they represent a specific production variety and often feature subtle design differences that are highly sought after. In this case, The combination of the large date and the Philadelphia Mint mark creates a coin that is extremely rare in the modern coin market. The coin's condition is also important to note. This 1985 Washington quarter is described as circulated, scratched, and fine, meaning it has visible wear from years of use. Normally, collectors prefer coins in uncirculated or near-mint condition, as these coins tend to command higher prices. However, the rarity of this particular variety outweighs its condition. Even with scratches, dust, and signs of circulation, the large date 1985 Philadelphia quarter is extremely valuable because only a few examples are known to exist. This demonstrates a key principle in coin collecting. Rarity often trumps condition when the coin itself is scarce enough. Imagine an auction room where this coin is up for sale. Collectors, dealers, and investors from across the country and even the world are present. Some are bidding in person, others online. Everyone understands the significance of the coin and its rarity. When the coin appears on the block, the bidding starts at a figure far higher than any ordinary quarter would command. The tension rises as bidders compete, each recognizing the opportunity to own a piece of numismatic history. Finally, the hammer falls, and the coin sells for an incredible $280,000. This scene perfectly illustrates how scarcity, historical significance, and collector enthusiasm can converge to create extraordinary value in the market. So, why does this coin command such a high price? The primary factor is scarcity. While millions of Washington quarters were minted in 1985, only a small number are the large date variety from the Philadelphia Mint. That rarity makes the coin highly desirable, especially for collectors seeking to complete advanced sets or acquire specific varieties. Second, collector demand plays a major role. Serious collectors recognize the coin's historical and numismatic importance and are willing to pay a premium to secure one of the few known examples. Third, authentication and certification ensure that buyers are confident in the coin's legitimacy. Professional grading services examined the coin, confirmed its variety and mint mark, and provided certification, which helps establish its market value and makes it a reliable investment for collectors. The coin's historical and cultural significance also contributes to its value. The Washington quarter is an iconic symbol of American currency, and this 1985 large date variety connects collectors to a specific moment in U.S. coinage history. Despite being a modern coin, it has survived over 3 decades in circulation, and its scratches and dust tell a story of hands through which it has passed. The coin's journey from everyday circulation to a high-value auction piece adds depth and narrative, making it more appealing to collectors who appreciate both rarity and history. The thrill of discovering a coin like this is one of the most exciting aspects of numismatics. Many rare coins are found in everyday situations, in coin rolls, piggy banks, or inherited collections. Most people would overlook a 1985 Washington quarter entirely, but with careful observation, a collector may notice subtle differences in the date or design that signal a rare variety. Identifying the large date Philadelphia version in circulated condition is the kind of discovery that can change a collection and even a collector's life. This coin also illustrates an important lesson in numismatics. Age alone does not determine value. While many of the most famous coins are centuries old, modern coins like the 1985 Washington quarter can achieve remarkable prices if they are rare and in demand. Collector interest, scarcity, and historical context often matter as much, or even more, than age. The large date Philadelphia quarter demonstrates that even coins from recent decades can become highly sought-after treasures. Professional grading and certification are essential for high-value coins. Without authentication from a reputable grading service, buyers might be hesitant to invest large sums due to uncertainty about the coin's authenticity or variety. Certification provides verification of the coin's features, ensuring that it is a legitimate rarity and allowing it to reach its maximum potential market value. This process also adds credibility to auctions and encourages competitive bidding among collectors.